You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. LSU went down to Florida and got a win, and the offense looked like what many of us hoped to see all year. What was different for Jayden Daniels on Saturday night?
I almost feel like, and I know this isn't the case, we've told you, he played in a Pac-12 that knows how to throw it. They may not defend it as much often, but he when he started out there, threw it, and he burst onto the scene. That's well documented. And I think what happened when you made the switch in Brian Kelly's offense, trying to get into it, Brian's tough on quarterbacks and has been, and that's a good thing. But, I almost feel like, while he probably didn't read criticism, and I don't know if these young kids do or go on social media. I know they do that, but pay attention to it or what it does to them. Certain people react different. And the criticism has been too protective, doesn't take enough shots, doesn't push the ball down the field. And I think Brian Kelly needed that. And he needed it this week, going on the road, pretty hostile environment, in a tough place to play. And LSU plays them well. And so it felt like he woke up on Monday and said, you know what, I've had it. And a big old smile on his face again, but I've had it. Things are going to be different. And then the light switch maybe clicks on. And this happens, Matt. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. I've been coaching high school kids or even myself, where all of a sudden you say, oh, okay, different. I get what he's trying to accomplish when we're calling plays. It's not just the play. I try to expand it, teach kids concepts. Okay, curl flat, throw the curl if the guy's standing. If he runs to the flat, throw the curl off his ear. If he runs to the flat, you got the curl. If he runs to the curl, throw the flat. If not, hit the check down. That's it. I want him to understand concepts. Why are we calling a play? If a guy tells me, well, I think, no, don't tell me you think. What are we trying to get accomplished here? To walk me through it. And it felt to me like he understood the concept. Okay, this half the field, if we get too deep zone, work boom, 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 and go. And then use your feet as the check down. On this half the field, take the shot if you get a single high safety, put your foot in the ground and let it go. If not, we got the smash route with a corner and a hitch, and then use your feet as a check down or get going, throw it out of bounds. I felt that he was decisive. It's almost like the light switch went on, 6-7 weeks into the season. This is what we're trying to get accomplished. They have way too much speed, way too many good receivers for them to be playing constant sideways horizontal football. So the light switch goes on. He took more shots, and I'll be damned. Take shots, some good things happen, as long as they're smart shots, right? You get single coverage. You got these big-time receivers. Let them do what they do. Let them earn their scholarship, get paid. They want the ball. It doesn't mean you throw into triple coverage if he's covered, but the best we can ever hope for in football is mismatches, create chaos for the defense, and man-to-man coverage. And if it's zone coverage, get them in those zones and get them in the window and let them do work. That's why they got the 80 numbers, or now single-digit numbers, because they can do stuff when they get the ball in their hand. It felt to me like he said, not throw caution to the wind and play panicked or like, I got to push it down the field, but first read, take the shot if it's there. Nobody's going to come over here and ridicule you on the sideline. And then get to your horizontal game and use your feet. And it looked to me, watching that game, that he had been in the system for 3 years. That's how it's supposed to look for a veteran quarterback who's with a veteran coach who likes offense and likes to attack vertically down the field and then take the check downs when they're there. And then with those receivers, which LSU always have, utilize them. I felt like a light switch turned on. Let's hope. Now don't go back. We already went through the 2-carat diamond ring. Now you've jumped up to the 5-carat. Let's keep working so we can get that bigger diamond, because he looked like, he's played some good football, but he looked like a complete quarterback and understood the concept of what Brian's trying to teach.
And so the obvious question is, how much they can continue to progress offensively. Can they carry it on through the remainder of the schedule? This week it's Ole Miss. I want to flip and ask you about Lane, who's someone I know you know well and known for a long time. But the narrative around this Ole Miss team is that it's different because they run the ball so much. Is that by design? Like, why is it so different in Oxford this year?
I'm going to tell you something, Matt. And with Lane, we've spent time with Leach. I've spent time talking to guys who've been a part of that tree, from Dana Holgerson, Noel Mazzoni, guys who are part of that are part of that here's what we do, play fast, Jeff Levy, all those things. And do you know what they'll all tell you? Seth Luttrell at North Texas, him and I talk football often. You know what they all want to do? And I know it doesn't look like it sometimes, right? Just like the Chargers, I'm sure, want to run it. And they threw it mid-50s times last night. Is they want to run it. They do want to run it. Now, ego gets in the way and you want to throw it. Here's what they want to do. They want to run it. They want to be balanced, but they know where their expertise and what they love to do. They got that quarterback blood in them, the Leaches and the Lane Kiffins and Seth Luttrells and Jeff Levy's and those guys. They want to Cliff Kingsbury's, the Lincoln Rileys. They want to stat you to death and then bury you and keep burying you. But they want to run it. SC wants to run it. I promise you. Lane Kiffin wants to run it. He wanted to run it at USC, and they did when they had some success, and were good at it. He wants to run it now. And when you can, you do it. And he's got a quarterback that's pretty damn athletic with Jackson Dart. But the receivers, maybe he doesn't feel like he has the perimeter guys or 3 first-round picks at wide receiver, whatever he's thinking about in the meeting. And remember, Jackson Dart's doing this with him as well, with Ole Miss as a transfer. So I can tell you this. He'll do this. If he can run it, he's going to. And they always want to shorten the game. They don't want to give you any more possessions. But he also knows he's got the tools that if, in fact, you shut him down, and even more so than Leach, he's going to formation you and motion you even more so than Mike does with Mississippi State. But they do want to run it. They do. And then they want to be accurate. They want to go 25 of 28, run for 225, and get out. That's what they want to do. And Lane will do that if LSU allows them at the line of scrimmage to do that. And he'll run it on 3rd and 9. And he'll run it on 1st and 10. But he'll also motion a back out of the backfield and go empty, see if the linebacker runs with him. If he does, he'll stop him. And if a linebacker's one-on-one with his back out of the backfield, you can bet your ass he's going to throw a fade route to that guy. I've seen it a million times. I saw it at Alabama. I saw it at Southern Cal. He is going to find out in the first 40 plays, 30 plays, how you're dealing with his motions and formations and the run game. And if you're dealing with the run, fine, no problem. He's going to motion you and throw it all over the lot. But if you're not, he's going to find the blood in the water, and he's also going to run the football. And he, as big as ego as anybody, and I love him, and I've known him since he was in high school, and he wants to put his foot on your throat. But if that means rushing, and it's an ego thing too. We always talk about ego, pass like a lineman. Linemen would rather run for 320 than throw for 500. I promise you they would, because they walk out of that, their chest, pump their chest out, and, bow their neck, and they go in the locker room. Physically manhandling's a knockout punch. When you finesse somebody, the guy says, "Oh, I want a rematch. You landed a couple lucky blows. I want a rematch." I'm sure Alabama's saying that. They finessed us to death. We're physically, come on back. Let's see it. And they do love it. Most of us do. You physical me, that's a knockout punch. You finesse me. And Lane will try to do both, depending on how LSU plays it. But it's a dangerous game playing him in man, because he's going to try to formation you and create mismatches with formation, motion, and shifting to see how you handle it. And they will play fast, just like Tennessee did.
Last thing, LSU defensively, do they match up well against Ole Miss's offense?
Win on 1st down, Matty. That's the matchup you have to do. Now, depending on how they want to go about it, do you say, okay, is Lane, and Lane knows this, he knows the history and the physicality of that program in Baton Rouge. Lane also knows that winning on 1st, you may see him, and I've seen Pomp come on out and throw 8 straight times right out off the bat, just to send a message to you to soften you up, and then run 20 times in the second quarter if they have 20 plays. So he will, and obviously athletically, of course, they can match up. But he's going to find out quickly and early how you do on 1st down. If he's getting 5 or 6 yards running the football on 1st down, he's going to beg you to say, okay, enough. Bring a guy or 2 down. And now that he's saying, got him, and that's what he wants. But if you're creating a new line of scrimmage, that's where the matchup is. Win the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 12, the story of the ball game changes. You keep an eye on 1st down yardage for Ole Miss, whether it's run or pass, and how they do on 1st down, and that will tell you how the matchup's working for LSU on Saturday.
Man, it's always an education. Always learn so much when we talk, man. We appreciate the time so much. He's Sean Salisbury. I'll follow him on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. Hey, man, we'll do it again next week. We appreciate you.
You're the man, Matty. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.